Going off grid my way. In a video I posted before this, you can see how pretty the trees were and all the fresh powder that came down. As you can see, these two trees I've been complaining about for a year are on the ground. This one I've almost bucked all up with a handsaw. I got 3 laying down back here, and I got 1 hung up in a tree, which I can't do anything with until I get this other big one out of the way. And then I'll pull it down with the truck. But our lake is froze over again. After I plowed everything yesterday, there was slush underneath and was within 10 minutes completely frozen ice everywhere because we had a temperature drop. Take you a little bit closer over here and show you. I also got those trees that I cut down. Those are all bucked up, logged. All the brushes up there, which the tree landed pretty much right on. But I'll give you an idea. You can actually see a little bit closer. We ended up getting hung up in a tree over here, so we had to cut that down. But we got this one, that one, and this one that's still up in the tree. And I didn't want to cut that one down. So I'm just going to wrap a chain around it and jerk it out of the tree with a truck. So it's a mess. Part of that's still hanging in that big tree back there. But as you can see, this was just all rotten inside, and I didn't want to wait till it got worse. You can see how soft this stuff is. It's just falling apart. Bugs have gotten to it. Same thing with that one. It was pretty rotted. But I got the trees down. As you can see, I've got it bucked up for the most part. I got most of the branches off that I can get to. They don't have any pressure on them. And like I said, I'm just doing this with a handsaw. I don't want to spend the money on the gas to put the chainsaw. Not that the chainsaw wants to work in the cold anyway. So we got to get this cleaned up. It knocked part of the fence down. No big deal. It's just chain link. It'll fold right back up. But it did strip a couple branches in this tree and knocked a couple off, which that's fine. It'll just give me a little more open space here and plenty of light. With these two trees here, everything here didn't get any sun last year at all, at no point through the day. So the grass didn't grow, the food didn't grow. My pomegranate tree was struggling until I took that first section down and it opened up just a little bit of light on it. But I'll give you an idea of how big this tree is. I mean, it's a good sized tree. So that's gone. Now I just got 2 massive stumps that I'm not sure what to do with. I may flatten that one off across the top, and I may use that one for the kids' little tree house they begged for. So that's possibly a plan with that. Really didn't do any damage to anything. A couple of these boards got shifted a little bit, but nothing actually broke. But it landed right where I wanted it to, between that tree and over here. I mean, it could have went over a little more, but that's fine. But we're gonna get this cut up. I got today and tomorrow off. I'll get this cut up and hopefully moved off of the garden so that I can burn these piles, and then I'll start on the next mess over here. So we will see how this works out. But as you can see, it's up in that tree a little bit. There's some big branches hanging in there, but that tree was half dead anyways. Probably wouldn't have been a bad idea to take that one down too, but I'm not messing with it. On the other hand, those other 4 trees that I took down last week, I cut into posts right there and here, and this is going to be the pig pen. So I've got a guy who's got feeder pigs around 100 pounds for 35 bucks a piece. It's a good deal. I'm not gonna pass it up. So next week I'm on vacation, and by next week this will be a pig pen. The only problem is I gotta get that pig house that I built last winter, almost a year ago, moved all the way over here. The problem is it's frozen to the ground. So I gotta figure out a way to get that broke loose without breaking it. But as you can see, it's snowing a little bit. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's been lightly snowing all morning. So now that these are on the ground, I can get these cut up, hopefully manhandled enough to get them off the garden. Right over here is where the greenhouse is going to go, and I could safely put that up now without worrying about this tree falling on it once the snow melts again. We had 5 days of warmer weather, I should say. It was over 30 degrees or 32 degrees, enough to melt a good amount of the snow. But as you can see, it left everything wet underneath, and then we got 3 inches of snow yesterday in about 3 hours, maybe 4. So everything, like I said, just froze, which makes it a little difficult to walk out here. But it is what it is. It'll get done one way or the other. It's firewood for next year, along with that pile and everything that got cut down over here. I figure that should give me close to, I don't know, maybe I might have, with everything I got cut down right now, once it's all cut, split, stacked, it'll probably be close to 10-12 face, I'm thinking. So that's a good start. But I'm gonna get the phone back at the house before it gets too cold and kills the battery, and get back out here and try and finish cleaning this up as much as I can get done today. If I can get this off the garden today, I'll be happy, and then I'm gonna try and burn that pile up before I start adding all of that. That'll probably just be set in the pile for now. I just want to get the garden cleaned up because I'm going to be sharecropping with the neighbors. They're going to come over here and help me work all the gardens since they changed my shift at work. And with them changing my shift, it leaves me very little time to do anything during the week. Well, during my 5-day week. So I'm going to we're gonna work together now that that's all cleared out, and we can work the whole garden instead of just this front half, and hopefully get enough for both of us and get it all canned this year. I also started taking an axe to that tree where it splits, because that one got damaged from the first piece I took off of there. So that piece will be coming down too. But they'll be coming over and helping with the garden this year. Just a couple old people. Like I said, I also got a pile over here of logs for next year. There's still green stuff, so I didn't mess with it this year. But I should have a good start on firewood for next year. And then I'm gonna, like I said, I'll be cleaning up these woods a little bit more this year and grabbing as much of that firewood as I can. There's a lot of down stuff right now from big trees breaking loose, but you can see how much more light I have in here, more sky. I'm gonna leave this maple here, and yeah, it's a good start. Oh, and I also took some scrap back. I got a one of those things that keeps the chicken warm when you're at the grocery store. Well, they have a stainless steel basin in them. I don't know, about 6 inches deep, and it's got a heat shield plate on the bottom. And this is going to be my evaporator pan for making maple syrup. Probably not going to get to it this year, just because I have too many things I got to get done. But I know to get one of these made, you're talking $500 or more. A friend of mine had one made. He paid $700. It's a little bit bigger, but it's perfect for what I need it for, and it was free. I actually made $30 off of the rest of it that I took in. So lots of little projects. Been talking to a couple people in the area that raise bees for the honey and wax and whatnot, and I'm just waiting on a price to see about doing bees this year, but that's still in the air. It's almost that time of year to get new birds. Probably gonna get around 30 meat birds, and this year I'm not gonna let the old lady keep me from killing them. They're gonna get full size and then they're going in the freezer. So I'm not playing games this year. We're not having pets. This year we are going to be doing it right. The turkeys, if I don't get some babies out of them this spring, they're also going in the freezer. I'm not going to continue to feed them if I'm not getting babies. That's the only reason we've let them live this long, is to get babies out of them. They're roughly a year old right now, within the next week or two. We got a couple eggs out of them last year, but nothing hatched. They were sporadic. But most of my hens are a year old within the next couple weeks. I only have one rooster, but it's a bantam. I got a bantam hen. Somebody dropped off here one day. But yeah, so we'll see how many babies we get this year, and if we don't get any, then we'll have plenty of meat in the freezer. So anybody who's wondering about the addition, roof's holding up perfect. I got no leaks. Last week I got another 40 bags of insulation. I did a demo on a mobile home that had blown in insulation in all the walls and the roof. Like I said, I filled roughly 40 bags, contractor bags. I figure that's probably another $500 worth of insulation with the prices that they are nowadays. I put another 12, 15 bags in the ceiling. I don't have any insulation in the upstairs yet. It's just in the ceiling. But I got it about 8-10 inches thick in most places. And that's made a huge difference. We were able to open up the addition, and we're able to heat it now and keep the entire house pretty decently warm now that with all that extra insulation filled all the rest of the gaps and any places that the air was getting in. Mostly from the overhangs, because they are not blocked off yet. They just have insulation. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I just stuffed insulation in there, but it didn't get perfect. So that's another project for this year, is getting the metal roof on and starting the siding. I don't know how far I'll get on that. I'm still debating on what to use for material. The vinyl siding's going. It's all going to the garbage. That was just a temporary thing, just to keep the tar paper from blowing off, and we still lost a few pieces here and there, but that's all right, because of where they're at, they're staying dry. So we're like I said, I'm still debating on what to use for siding. I'm thinking, I checked out the prices on the D-logs. They're just gonna be way too damn much. They're like $30 a piece, and I'm gonna need a lot. So I think I'm just gonna end up going with 1x6s or something along those lines, and paint and everything. But I'm gonna get off here. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. Talk to you later.